Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengals fan on most of the major platforms, and I am joined here by superfan Devin Circus. I screwed up your name on the recap. And Jake Circus of the Jake Circus podcast, and this is Week 9 Jungle Talk preview show. I know it's hard to be. I still, my head is still in a depression. I'm shaking my head. I can't believe that we even had to do the recap show we had to do where we blew that lead, but we'll get into that and then preview this game. Before we get started, if you don't support the channel, please support the channel. It's all we ask. Subscribe, hit the bell so you know when our videos come up, and make sure you hit the thumbs up. Helps us out with the YouTube analytics. And Jake does some amazing podcasts. So Jake, tell them where they can find your stuff.
Yeah, Jake Circus Podcast on Spotify. Follow me on Twitter at Jake Circus.
All right. So, um, biggest news for the week following, what do we call it? It's not the meltdown. We just
Train
it's
wreck.
a clunker. I mean,
It was a pretty big meltdown. I mean, that was a meltdown.
yeah, but when I think meltdown, I think like the perfect playoff game, where but this one just why is it we seem to play down to a team's level or really just not show up when we're playing an inferior opponent? I
Because
just
because the head coach is Zach Taylor.
as the head coach is like, thank
100%.
you very much. So there was a players only meeting.
Great.
I don't know
We're
what
we're,
it's
we're
going to do.
fixed.
There's some riff going. You saw Jamar's responses when he was talking, and he said, "Hey, that's not my area. I'm not on defense." So there's definitely
You know what? Don't take that out of context. I watched that whole interview, and the first thing I thought of Jamar was very classy. Like in an era
agreed.
of wide receiver divas and the Terrell Owens and Randy, all the stuff we've seen over the years with great receivers being divas. Tyreek Hill, Jamar is as classy, as hardworking, and all of his answers were professional. I saw that not live, but like the full interview. What do you want him to say?
No,
You know,
it's a
what's Jamar? What's going on with the defense? That was essentially the question. What do you make of the
right.
defense? What's he supposed to say? They suck. He's like, I can't answer that. I play offense. That's not an fu to the defense.
I
There's no
agree.
answer for that. And if you watch that whole interview, he was so classy. And we left points out there. I dropped the ball. There's things we can do to close the game out on offense.
Right. Okay. I didn't see the whole interview, so I'm
Yeah.
really glad that you give us that perspective. Um, Yeah, it's kind of like they're baiting, like they baited Tua to throw somebody under the bus, and then he kind of did, with some people not showing up to player only meetings or whatever, and so they're looking for stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but
The other funny social media you mentioned, the players only meeting. There was a video going around yesterday of drills that the D line was doing, and I didn't think anything of it. I think I barely even watched it. But then a couple hours later, and I don't know if it was sarcasm. I'm not a football coaching, high school pee wee football guy, but a lot of people were saying that's a basic 9, 10, 11-year-old pee wee football drill.
yeah.
I don't know if that's legit or people were trolling, but I just found that
All right,
entertaining.
well, let me throw this out there. I was going to wait to do this, but it segues in perfect. So I want to thank Steve, one of our viewers who sent me the link for a couple play breakdowns. He sent me the 2 point conversion play, but there were three that I focused on this week. One of them was the one he sent, and it was the Brees Hall touchdown run around, and the 2 point conversion. Both highlighted the flaws. I mean, just poorly coached fundamentals by Shamar. Okay, on the 2 point conversion. Okay, Shamar comes in and he's trying to, rush the passer and he stopped. And instead of continuing down and pressing down like the 10-yard line and continuing towards Justin Fields, he backs up and goes around. Fundamentally, if the ball's not there, you never back up and try to go around. And they said if he had continued on his path, when Fields is like kind of falling down, he hits Fields long before that. He comes in and closes out. But they showed where he was on the play, and he's like in the middle of the field, rushing, trying to get back into the play. fundamentally, watching these made me think like the coaching, I've been defending Golden and everything, and hey, let's give him time, let's give him time. But fundamentally, Shamar is not learning the game properly if he's doing stuff like that. The other play was on the Brees Hall, where like from the 20-yard line, he got the edge and got all the way to the pylon. Okay, Shamar comes in now from the other side. He comes in, and instead of maintaining the edge and forcing Hall back into where he has help, he tries to make the hero move and get in and make the tackle himself. He gets around him, and that opens up the play. Once again, just simple fundamentals. We would have had them, instead of that being a touchdown run, that would have been a loss or no gain. So we're not seeing, and I could say the same thing on some footage I saw with Battle. We're not fundamentally, this team isn't doing the right thing, and that I look at coaches. I mean, this is Shamar's first year. Okay, he's not learning what he needs to learn fundamentally to play in the NFL if these are mistakes he's making, and that right there was 9 points.
Yeah, the one comment I'll make to that, it's funny you bring up film because there was something that I saw all day yesterday. I'm sure you guys saw it if you're active on Twitter. There was a play by Miles Murphy out on the left where he's getting absolutely destroyed from the Twitterverse for a horrible play of not making a tackle on I don't know which play, but a hole gets opened up and he slips and it looks like a half-ass attempt at a tackle. Somebody, and this goes to, there's all different ways to interpret film. Mark, you and I say this all the time. I'm not the expert. Jake's our resident expert on that. There's people that do this really, really well. Somebody today said that's not, Murphy did make the right play. He engaged the tackle, took him out of the play and opened up the hole for the linebacker to come fill and make that tackle. Whereas yesterday, everybody was saying what a horrible play by Murphy. So, it's almost like statistics. You can make statistics look like anything you want. You just got to be careful what you believe on Twitter. I understand what you're saying is something different.
Right.
There's film, a ton of film, a ton of clips on one play of Demetrius Knight, and I think it was the Brees Hall run you're talking about, where he starts to the right, Brees is going to the right, and for some reason, Knight makes a 360 and goes back to the left. Like, just looks like a lost kid on the little league field chasing a butterfly type thing.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is the defense is a mess. There's lots of different things you can take from film.
Right.
I'm no expert. I don't profess to know. I just try and read people that read what people are saying that I trust that know, and then like it and like picking Jake's brain. But it's hard for us to. No offense to us, but what we're doing right now is very boring television, radio, whatever you want to call it, because we're talking about film that we're not showing.
Right. Right. So, Jake, you're going to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, I think I know which play you're talking about. Yeah, it wasn't that particular play. I don't think Miles Murphy's looked good this year, but that wasn't Murphy's fault. Whoever the running back was, he forced him to cut back, and Demetrius Knight looked like one of those padding sleds, and he was getting pushed back 15 yards. So he sucks. He sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he sucks.
no, it's like you said,
he's gonna get cut. He could get cut. He's terrible.
Yeah.
How is he playing over Logan Wilson? Like, what is going on with Logan Wilson?
Well, they don't play Oren Burks, do they?
He was in some plays, but because I did see him out there on a couple plays, but I don't know. You'd have to look and tell us what his snap count is.
I'm looking at it right now. I mean, Burks has almost played less than Shamar, and Shamar's missed 3 games. Like they don't play Oren Burks. I don't know why they signed him.
I don't know.
He's like a guy that has a lot of experience and maybe could help.
Oh, we could use all the help we could get. So, the other thing, let's kind of segue over to our injury report. I mean, obviously Trey's not practicing. If they're gonna push Trey out there like they did against the Jets, don't play him. We talked about this on the recap. By the middle of the first quarter, the Jets knew they didn't have to double team him, and they didn't. Let him sit out after the bye week and heal. I mean, he wasn't even an effective decoy after the first couple drives.
Correct.
So they need to trade him. That should be the first. That should be the first move they make. The only move they make. he should not still be on this team. He should not play Sunday because he already re-aggravated the injury and he should
Right.
be traded. Just a joke why they wouldn't do that.
So, but his trade value is significantly less than it would have been.
Well, they should have traded him in March.
Yeah.
Take a two. I'd be excited. I'd do cartwitals for a two right now.
Not getting
We
it.
wouldn't get it to.
Not getting it.
The reports are Niners are offering a two. No,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So, and
but
then
look,
we
we're
have,
not going anywhere. They're not going to resign him. Take a three.
yeah, well,
I agree.
we'll see what they do. They haven't made any moves this week. A couple people got cut, but they weren't. I mean, we were looking for something impactful to kind of give us hope.
Yeah.
Like I said, my big thing on what I saw on these film breakdowns was these guys, especially on the defense, they're not getting coached fun on the fundamentals. They're just not.
Yeah.
And that definitely concerns me. I mean, I don't want to pull the plug on Golden too soon, but you know, and I don't know, maybe Zach brought him in so he has a fall guy, so it's not him.
Brought him in because he's his freaking neighbor.
Right. But I don't know. I just, we're like I said, we're still numb from Sunday. But Flacco injures his shoulder on a play he didn't need to take the hit. I just it's a real shame because now he's got this shoulder issue. We'll do a couple different predictions with and without Joe. I'm hoping he plays. There's very, little. I have very little hope for this week coming up anyway. After losing to the Jets, I mean, we're going to learn a lot about this team on how they respond this Sunday. But this Flacco injury, what are we hearing on it? Because limited practice today.
He threw a little bit.
I think it's gonna be Browning.
That's what it
Yeah.
feels like.
If it's Browning, we're screwed. So
We're screwed either way.
I have two different scores, and they're dramatically different. The outcome's the same, but they're dramatically different if Browning plays, which kind of gives you a heads up on where I'm going on that.
One thing I wanted to bring up, Mark, before we move on, because you were talking about cuts and bringing people in. I saw something the other day, and I totally forgot he was available. I talked about him a little in the offseason when we got into training camp. Asante Samuel is junior, is 26, 27 years old, coming off an injury 2 years ago. Apparently, he's in great shape. And look, I realize you get into week 8, week 9. If a guy's unsigned, there's a reason he's unsigned. But
Yeah.
how, Jake, what do you got on him? How is he not
On somebody's roster?
I haven't heard that name in forever. I mean, it's to me. I mean, there's a reason out there. I mean, I don't if like think
Right.
the Broncos would be a team that would pick him up because they're actually in contention. They just lost Sertan.
Lost Sertan.
Yeah, I got nothing on that. I got no idea.
Yeah, but maybe he's not ready.
He's
I don't
saying
know.
he's ready,
Or he's asking for too much
but nobody's
money.
brought him out to work him out. If you think he's ready or he's saying he's ready, a team would bring him out and they say, sorry, not ready.
Maybe he's asking for too much money.
I can't imagine if you're available.
Yeah, especially if he can join a contender.
He's got no leverage.
Right. So, is there any other tidbits you want to throw out? There was a couple roster moves, but I'm more focused on, where we're going. There was nothing that impacts this week roster move wise. So, am I missing anything or
No.
no? All right. So,
And I
looking at
refuse
this,
to get into the Corey Dillon versus the Bengals ruler of the jungle garbage.
so yeah. Well, now is he this week or was he last week?
Oh, he was supposed to be last week and he didn't come.
Right, because they make a reservation for a plane for a flight, and they make a hotel reservation, but he's responsible to pay for both of them.
No, they flew him out.
Did
Everything I read, they fly. They pay for the flight, and Dylan pays for the hotel.
Okay, and he just didn't
Which
go.
made it so funny. I think Jake sent me this. Whitworth was purposely honored in the Ring of Honor when we were the Thursday night prime game because Amazon was already paying for the hotel room.
Right, exactly.
That joke was very much low hanging fruit. But
Yeah.
But it was great.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Don't think that doesn't enter into their mind because
Of course.
you know how they think. So, but well, let's jump into this game. I don't know. The Bears have a lot of injuries, but we just lost to a team as John Gruden said, I don't even couldn't name one receiver that's on their roster. I mean, basically, we lost to a bunch of practice squad wide receivers. So,
Correct.
you know, going through their injury report, I mean, I see DeAndre Swift is on there. Do we know if he's playing?
I think he's going to be out.
He looks to be out, but that doesn't mean anything because Kyle Monunga will run for 140 yards against us.
Right. Well, like I said, I doesn't. We just lost to a bunch of receivers. We didn't even know who they were.
Right. And
Yeah.
looking at the receivers, I dove on it a little bit. Roma Dunze, it feels like he's going to try and go, but it's a heel issue. Depending
Right.
on what kind of pain he's in, that could be tough. He could be like a decoy. DK Metcalf. DJ Moore probably goes. I
Yeah,
don't.
he's not even listed on the injury report.
Well,
So,
he was limited today. Luther
yeah.
Burton goes,
No,
and
Luther's going to be out.
that's what I meant. He's going to be out. That's what I
Right.
meant. Sorry. And Zacharias 50-50, but who cares?
Right.
Zacharias.
Oh yeah, there's
Not-
DJ Moore.
That's not
Sorry,
even
I didn't see
close
him.
to it. That's not even close to his name.
Olamide, how do you pronounce it?
Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus.
Oh, there's no R.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's the guy who caught the Hail Mary last year against Chicago for
Nice.
So,
Washington.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
he's on
that's
Chicago.
funny.
Ironic. Yeah.
Oh, Jake, our boy Joe Tooney did not practice today.
Why is he our boy?
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. It's rest.
Oh, that's rest on Tooney.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
sorry.
Yeah,
fine.
I missed DJ Moore on the
He's
sheet
fine.
too. So
Yeah, they're healthy everywhere except the receivers, and they got a ton of.
Came back.
Well, I guess they're getting Stevenson back, but their two top corners are on IR, Gordon and Jalen Johnson, who's gonna miss the whole year. But they get Tyreek Stevenson back, who's their other corner.
uh-uh. Well, Ben Johnson's done a decent job with Caleb so far this year. I mean, he's taking less sacks. Um, he doesn't have a ton of touchdowns. He threw four against Dallas, and then he only threw five in the other six games. But I would take Dallas as a better sample because they have a porous defense and we have a porous defense. So that kind of leads me, okay, Caleb could throw for four touchdowns this week. I mean, we just saw what we did for Justin Fields. So my expectations aren't real high. Um, and he's been taking less sacks under, Ben Johnson. And it's not like we've been getting a ton of pressure on the quarterbacks, even when we had Trey out there. So, both of those things don't bode well for us. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, we're
Yeah,
going.
I mean,
Oh, go ahead, Jake.
Caleb's been okay. It's been better. It's just been inconsistent. I mean, the ball isn't going always where it's supposed to be going. The intended target's sometimes correct, just like the offense is pretty straightforward, and it's a lot of window dressing, just what Jared Goff did so well. It's not a perfect fit with Caleb.
Right.
It's not like people were just expecting Ben Johnson to come in and Caleb would be throwing to open receivers and it would be a bunch of like yak and like that works when you have, the Lions offensive line and the Lions receivers and those running backs and Goff who's a great distributor. When you have Caleb who likes to play out of structure and hero ball and is wildly inaccurate, it's not just throwing to a bunch of wide open receivers, but it's probably what it's going to be against the Bengals. It's probably going to be, they're going to be aggressive and they're going to take deep shots and they'll be open and there'll probably be some big plays.
And no pressure. The biggest thing on Caleb is he's at its worst when he's pressure and panicking. I don't know what kind of throw. I don't watch enough to know what kind of thrower he is when does he just stay in the pocket and make good throws if he's not pressured? Is he gonna scramble and move out of the pocket because he's a natural athlete and he likes to move and he's used to running? It's gonna be. We don't get any pressure, so he's not going to be pressured, and we sure as hell are not going to sack him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like when you're facing Rodgers where like if he's clean, like the ball is going to be going to where it's supposed to be going. And when we talk about the Steelers game, Caleb can stand in a clean pocket for 3 seconds and can still overthrow a receiver by 10 feet, or he can still
Absolutely.
still put it into harm's way. I mean, he's got, one of the worst turnover worthy play percentages when kept clean this year. So not necessarily the game where you're worried about getting pressure and causing havoc, just because it's just up to him to hit the throws, and he hasn't really done that at a high percentage this year. But he hasn't really been actually scrambling as much as I would expect. Like their pass pro has been pretty solid. He hasn't faced nearly as much pressure as he did last year. They're about average in pass pro. So yeah, I mean it's going to be one of those games where he's protected pretty well, and he's got to hit the throws, and we'll see if he does.
Yeah. And if he does, we're not going to bode well for us. But Chicago, we can score on Chicago. I mean, they're 25th in points and yards.
Their
So
defense
this
sucks.
Yeah, so
They're
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. They're not. This is not a high-ranking defense. If you're 25th in a category, I know we're 29th and 28th or something. I don't remember what it is. We might even be last in a couple categories, but they're not far behind us in terms of. So I love the over this week. I really do. It's
High.
51. It's 51,
Oh, I
but
saw 53.
yeah, I just saw it as 51.
Yeah, their defense has been the beneficiary of a ton of turnovers to start the year. They were a very fluky. I think they were 4-2 at one point, and then got ran over by Tyler Huntley last week. So they're in the midst of some defensive regression. If the Bengals aren't turning it over here, they'll put up some points.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, and that goes to Flacco versus Browning. One of the big reasons why my difference is so big is I figure Browning's going to give them a couple gifts, short fields, and they're going to take advantage of it. So, where if we have Flacco, I'm not as concerned about turnovers. So,
I saw something looking at because Browning and Flacco have similar number of attempts in the season up to this point, and it's really interesting. The yards are about the same. Flacco only has one more touchdown than Browning, but Browning has 8 interceptions and Flacco has zero.
yeah. Oh, that's huge.
It's crazy. But
I
I was
mean,
surprised that yards and touchdowns were similar.
yeah, but you got to also
It's
remember,
it's all garbage time, so
yeah,
it's cute.
yeah. So, um, so yeah, Bengals are a 3-point underdog.
Yeah,
Oh, 2.5, three, depending on where you're checking the line. Over under
Yeah,
51.
it'll probably go up another half if it's Browning, I think.
Oh,
It goes up
I
to
think it
three
goes
and
up
a
a
half.
full point if it's Brown.
hey, I want to go back to this real quick. I just pulled it up. Here's how crazy this is.
Okay.
Browning is 80 for 124. Flacco's 81 for 126. Dead heat. 757 yards to 784 yards. Call it a dead heat.
Yeah,
Touchdown.
but Browning has one more game, I think.
He does, but it was a
Yeah.
half, so he's got 2 extra quarters. But just take all logic out of it. Just the stats, the completions and attempts within 1 and 2, yards within 30, touchdowns. Flacco 7, Browning 6, interceptions. Flacco 0, Browning 9, 8, 8.
Hey,
That's mind blowing.
yeah.
That everything could be so similar, but 8-0 on interceptions.
What's the quarterback rating? Do they give it?
Flacco's 100, Browning 70.
Yeah. I'm surprised Browning's at
91
70
on the year
with
before he
eight
got
with
hurt.
eight interceptions. I'm surprised Browning's at 70.
Yeah.
So I would think it would even be lower.
Yep.
So, but all right.
The
Is there anything
the
anybody
other,
else?
the
Go
other,
ahead. No, throw
I
it out
got one
there.
more fun fact.
Fun fact. Love him.
Jamar Chase has 5 times as many tackles on the year as
Smart Stewart.
Is that
Jamar
it is?
has 5. Excuse me. Jamar has 5. Shamar has 1.
Wow. Yeah. Well, with Shamar, see, that's the thing about stats. If
They
he
lie.
if he
DNs aren't
holds the
supposed to
edge
get
on that
tackles.
one play, he doesn't get a tackle, he doesn't get a sack. But he did his job, and for
Correct.
the team, it's better. But the fact that Jamar is ahead of anybody in tackles is not good because that means that he was tackling guys off of all of Browning's interceptions.
Correct.
So, because he's not out there on special teams. So you don't want Jamar being ahead of anybody on the defense on tackles. You'd
Nah,
like him to have zero,
that was
right?
just a fun one, doesn't we? Don't even
No,
need
no, that is a fun one. So, all right. Any other tidbit you want to throw something out there, Santa Barbara?
That's all I got.
I think that's all from me.
All right. So let's
How about my new Joe Cool shirt?
I love, you know what? I said he's the opposite of Heath because he always has the new cutting edge outfit. And Heath never, takes him forever to replace the Geno Atkins jersey. I love that shirt, by the way.
My Will Klein appreciation shirt is in the mail.
There you go. There you go. So
Had to
all
get
right,
my
well,
So to not to twist the knife, but doesn't that shirt? It's a game away from that shirt having no meaning.
I thought about that. Like I almost bought. There's a really cool Shohei shirt that I didn't buy because if they don't win it, it takes away. But whatever happens, and I'm not expecting to win two straight in Toronto. We'll always have that 18 inning game, and Will Klein was an absolute legend because he gave us a chance because we were close to going Miggy Rojas to pitch.
Yeah.
Dodgers
Yeah.
will always win the World Series unless there's an 18 inning game in the series.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're undefeated, and they're undefeated in the World Series when the team doesn't have the signs, and there's a game in the series that doesn't go 18 innings.
Correct.
Okay. Do
You
you
see the
know that
you see the Brad Paisley stat?
I was just going to bring that up. I was going to say, do you know who sang the national anthem in both
So
18 inning games?
Brad Paisley did the 11 inning game two against Houston, 18 against Boston,
Yes.
game one last year that went 10, and the 18 inning game this year.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why has he sung the national anthem so many times?
Lakers and Dodgers do that a lot. The Lakers, who's the guy? Was it Jeffrey Osborne that always did it for Lakers?
Yeah, well, he lives here in yeah, he used to be a Porter Valley member right near me. He
Yeah.
played, yeah. So, yeah, SoCal guys, they're close. So,
And he does a great. I mean, Brad Paisley.
oh yeah. So, but yeah, I was going to bring up that's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
See, we don't talk about this stuff before the show because I like it to be spontaneous, and that's exactly my fun fact I was going to throw out there, and you were on it. So,
Sorry.
you brought your A game today. So, all right, so we want to go to predictions. What do we want to do?
Let's do it.
All right, and put your prediction in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think in terms of outcome and score. So,
I'm going first. I'm taking it
go for it.
because everybody thinks all three of us are taking the Bears. All three of us should take the Bears. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I'm saying, fuck it. Whether it's Browning or Flacco, we're expecting Browning. I think the reason Browning was so bad is because he didn't realize Jamar Chase was good. And he didn't know that he was supposed to throw it to Jamar Chase. So these last three games or two games, whatever it's been, he's had the opportunity to watch Joe Flacco and see what you're supposed to do. And what has Jamar had 40 targets in the last two games, probably more than 40?
It's a record on targets, I think.
40 something targets in the last two games. We saw Browning 2 years ago as effective. He's learned throw the ball to number one. If he gets in trouble, throw it to number five. I think we run on the Bears defense. They run on us. And somehow, I don't know how, because it makes no sense for us to win this game. We win the game 31-30.
Okay. And another endorsement on my over pick.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I'll go second. I have it. I have the Bears winning both scenarios, but I have a much different game. I figure it's going to be like 30-27 Bears if Flacco's playing, and then I've got it as like 35-20 or 35-17. I just don't have any. I think Browning gives them a couple short fields, and that's going to be our downfall. It's like you highlighted the 8 interceptions in what, 3.5 games. And I mean that's the thing about just throwing it to number. You could say just throw it to number one, but his ball placement's been horrible.
Well, I mean,
So go ahead.
what we also are forgetting is that if it's Browning, the two defenses that he faced were the Vikings and the Broncos. Flacco has gotten to face the Jets and the Steelers.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
So,
And the Packers.
yeah, but the Packers, they were
That
down
was
by
3 days
they were
ago.
down they were down 2 scores the whole
The
game.
second half, he started, like I said, I have more faith in Flacco's arm and Flacco's decision making than I do with Browning because I just
Yeah, but I mean, if we're yes, correct, but it's not really like it's maybe a point difference in terms of like strictly numbers based.
well, let's talk about a guy who's been with the team 10 days and did what he want. How long has Browning known the playbook, known the players, do all that? I know you were tongue in cheek, but if you have to be told or see somebody else do it to figure out that getting Jamar Chase is a good idea, you probably
Mark,
should go to a new vocation.
But Mark, I think there's a lot to what Jake said. Playing Vikings and Broncos versus Steelers and Jets. I mean, the neither of those teams had a pass rush. How we kept Flacco upright against the Steelers,
I'm still in disbelief.
Browning was running for his life and never had a chance. How Flacco was so clean against Pittsburgh, I don't know. Maybe Browning does hold the ball a little bit more than Flacco. Maybe that's a little bit to it, but Browning was running for his life, never had a chance. Flacco shouldn't have had a chance against Pittsburgh, but he did. We'll see what happens if it's Browning.
Well, Flacco's 1-2 and balls out. He's
Yeah,
going somewhere with it. He's not going to
absolutely.
stand there and take the hit. The one hit he took, he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
So all right, Jake, what are you saying?
I mean, I'm hoping it is Browning because then if I can kind of bet the Bengals here. I kind of want to do that. Look,
Wait,
I mean
if it's
the
Browning, you're going to bet the Bengals?
yeah, like if
I'll go
the
up like five.
no, it'll go 3.5.
Oh, it'll go up a
Um,
whole point. Yeah.
I mean like the Bears haven't beaten it. Like I don't know. This is just I can't get to that number. It feels like it's a little too high. Um, like the Bears can't like run like they don't have like a Fields athlete that's gonna have that running ability. Like the Jets were always the team that can really expose the Bengals because they have the Fields athlete part. Like it wasn't just him throwing it all over the yard the whole game. As much as Browning could give the Bears some short fields, Caleb can do the same thing. So it's like a lot of variance in this game.
Yeah.
If we're talking strictly spread perspective, 3.5 is a lot of points for this one. But I think the Bengals will win. I think that look, I mean, Browning's going to come in and hopefully do kind of what Flacco can do and just pepper Jamar and I guess not even TT had like one catch on
Two
Sunday.
Yeah,
targets.
two targets.
But but yeah, just pepper Jamar and see what happens. But like the Bears defense is not good at all. They've had some really bad data points this year and just gotten bailed out by some fluke turnovers. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But I've got Bengals 27-24.
There you go. All right. See, look at me. I'm the one drinking the Kool-Aid, and here I am, the only one. You know what? I would love to be wrong. Absolutely would love to be wrong. Prove
Yep.
me wrong. Go win the game. Defense. Go have the
Yep.
game of the year. You know?
The big thing to watch, Mark, and here's what we'll be talking about on Sunday. Come fourth quarter, are the Bears going to bear or the Bengals going to Bengal? That's who
Yeah,
wins the
that's
game.
it. Yeah, two teams that seem to find ways that snatch, how do they say it? They snatch defeat from the jaws of victory,
Correct.
right? Which is exactly what we did on Sunday.
Yep.
So, all right, well, put your scores in there. I'm really curious to see what the people watching think. So, throw your scores down there. Jake, you got a pick for us? And everything was going great with Iowa State
No,
until that punt. No, no, no. They were in control of the game and they were getting the ball back. And then the guy
that was the
punted and
biggest
kicked the
joke.
ball.
That was such a joke. They were
That
getting the ball. It was I'm gonna rant again. They were getting the ball back in
yes,
a tie
late in the
game,
third. In a
and it
top.
wasn't even a muffed punt. It was not even a muffed punt. The
No.
punt rolled, and the guy just stepped on it.
Yeah. People were yelling,
So
clear out. And
one of
he literally was in a block and backed into the ball and kicked it. They got the ball, then they got the score. But the Tide, everything was going Iowa State's way until that play.
getting the ball
Changed
back
the game.
we were getting the ball back in a tie game, and then 5 scrimmage plays later, it was we trailed by 14. I don't even know how it
Yeah.
was fucking. I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah. So no. So I wasn't blaming you. I was saying I watched that
yeah,
game.
no, that was a
So I
mess.
bet that game and I watched it and I like to watch myself win money and I also if I'm going to lose I like to watch who betrayed me. And that it was
Yeah,
the special teams player betrayed me.
I can't believe that happened in a Division 1 football game.
Yeah, I couldn't
Um,
either.
we'll take Oklahoma +3 against Tennessee.
Oklahoma +3. Okay, good. All right, let's get back on the winning ways. And anything else before we wrap up here?
Got nothing.
We got nothing. All right, here we go. So Jake, tell them where they can find all your stuff.
Yeah, Jake Circus Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake Circus. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, just support the channel. It's a show by fans for fans. Um, just support the channel. Hit the bell so you know when our previews and our recaps come out. We do a recap right after the game, and definitely hit the thumbs up. It helps us out with the YouTube analytics. So, and with that, hey, let's see how things play out. Would love to be wrong. I would love to have the Bengals win this week. yeah, you don't even talk to me on Monday when the Bengals lose on Sunday, and you can imagine how it was with the way they lost on Sunday. So, hopefully we're in a much we break out well good tequila this week, right?
I'm not breaking out good tequila for a 3-5 team beating the Bears.
So you all right? Well, even just because we're going into the bye week,
Nope.
positive bye.
They have to earn it.
So what so you would punish yourself drinking crappy tequila
I don't own
just because the
crappy.
record of the team?
I don't own crappy tequila, first of all.
Okay, so you have to break out the G4. You can,
Dude,
break out Don Julio or
that was
something,
a one-time thing on the Packers. If we beat the Packers, I was gonna go buy a bottle of Sincora.
right? You don't have a bottle in your liquor cabinet?
I don't have Sincora. I think all I have left is I have G4 and one other decent one.
Oh, get to your tequila. What do you Total Wine or what's in Arizona?
Yeah. Total wine out
Total,
here.
get to that tequila aisle. Buy two or three. Come on, mix it up.
I don't
So,
make
all
the
right.
money
Well,
you,
I would
Mark.
love to
I
be.
don't make FU money like you, Mark.
I would love to have J2B2 sitting next to me and a good glass of tequila Sunday. Would love to have it happen.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm going to say, hoo day, everybody. Have a good rest of
Okay.
your week.